Hey everyone, it's Jen Zoe here, and I have Miss Bella, and oh my God, she and I have just been hanging out in the barn a little bit today, and the reason why is because sometimes you just need to be heard, and today's message is really about that. It's like, are you practicing deep listening? And when we think about the people that we have conflict with, let's see what she does. Hi, Mama. Okay, see you later. Bye. Bye. Bye, beautiful black horse. So if I go off camera, stay tuned because she's down there at the other end of the arena, but we'll see what happens. The purpose of today is to really help understand the things that prevent fights in our lives. And to prevent a fight, it is not necessarily about whether or not you agree or disagree. Bella! Bella, Bella, Bella! Thank you. I didn't train her to do that. It's about after the conflict, whether or not you can reconnect. And so that's such an important thing. And I'm going to give you, in just the next little bit, I'm going to give you some ways, just a few little secrets on how to prevent the conflict from turning from a conversation into a conflict. Hi, sweetheart. You come out? That was so beautiful. I promise I did not train her to do that. Now, this is right there, noticing beautiful. So I'm going to do that again. Good girl. You noticed she was like looking to the outside? Like, look how she's looking over there. I'm going to wait. There. Nice, my girl. I am going to actually wait for her to accept the invitation. Because if you're trying too hard to create a connection, it can seem forced. And it can put you in a position to where they feel like conflict is about to happen. Have you ever felt somebody, come at you, where they're like, oh, so I'm just going to take a step back, right? Good girl. Hi, sweetheart. So one of the things, and I'm going to go over here and change robes. I'm going to go off camera for just a second, so hang with me there, guys. But one of the things that has happened with her is so many times she's been lied to about what certain things mean. And then you start to question yourself. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine this morning, and she was really concerned about some things that were going on in her life. And I said, well, you are now going back to a place where you feel safe and connected to, but the people that caused you the conflict, could you go to them and ask them, hey, I need your help, right? I need your help. It's all right, sweetie. Who can you ask for help for? Who can you win in your times of struggle, like what happened with Bella just there, that you can fall apart and struggle and not be judged, right? And that, to me, is a huge piece of building trust. So I'm going to ask her to do some things that will help empower her. Because I don't want to enable her. I want her to be her own empowered self. But I also want her to know that I'm her rock if she needs me to be. Does this horse person, individual, need me to be her rock? And right now, she's a good girl. We're doing pretty good. Like, she's like, all right, I'll back up. I'm good with that. But what about, like, when I took the halter off and she was like, oh my God, right? And watch how I show up. And then ask yourself, if you were in struggle, could you have somebody show up like this? And say, and here I'm going to give you the 3 things, and they're going to come throughout the session. I'm here for you, with you, together. Now, she just decided she wanted to go that way. I'm not sure why. And then, oh, let's go fast. Okay. Now, nobody told you to do that, sweetheart. And don't ever do that. If you're a horse person, don't ever put the rope over your head like I just did. Don't do that. And nobody asked you to do that. That's okay. If I was dealing with Trace, I'd be like, hey, nobody asked you to do that. And he'd be like, whoa. But she's worried. She's concerned. She's asking, am I okay? Am I okay? I'm worried. And just about anybody can give a Bella a compliment. There you go. It's all right. You can be out there. And it can be this simple. There. You see it? I don't know if you're just noticing the licking and chewing with her mouth. Or one of my girlfriends, one of my favorite Bellas, Liz, my friend Liz Scherstoff, she calls it licking and smacking. So that she just licked and smacked, licked and chewed with her mouth a little bit. But look at her watch, just observe these little nuances. And you guys, if you're not obsessed with this, then just go keep scrolling. Because this behavior is super important. Noticing her little tiny head drops, that little step of her left front foot, the cock of her right hind leg, which is actually not, that, like all of these are big. But just noticing how badly she's wanting to come into me. And just me doing that just sent her off to worry town, right? I'm like, it's okay, sweetheart, it's okay. But you don't get to come in and sit on my lap. You're too big, right? 2 more steps back, left hind, right front, and then just allow. And here's the piece. This is why this is about creating empowerment. This is why I call it equine assisted empowerment, is because I'm not trying to enable her. I don't want her like, oh my God, of course I want to go over and cuddle her. Who doesn't? But I want to create an empowered individual, right? And over the years, she's gotten so much better. And just watching. Now, if you were where I am, you would see her right nostril is really long and narrow, and her left nostril is really round and fat. So I know that she's worried about something that she needs to do. Now, we're going to get deep on this one, because if it were her left nostril that was long and narrow and the right nostril that was round and fat, I would know that she's worried about whether or not I could approach her. And the reason is because on the right side of our bodies is our masculine, what we should do, what we need to do, what we got to do, the action we got to take. On the left side of our bodies, it's what are we worthy of? How can we receive? How can I allow things to come to me, right? And when you hear the phrase, it's better to give than receive, lie, no candy. All right, so she's long right nostril, fat left nostril. She's worried about what she needs to do. So I'm just going to ask her to back up a step or two, and she is going to flip that left front ear forward. She's going to look at me and go, is that all you wanted? And I'll be like, yes, that's it, right? And so now I might, instead of, I might like just organize my ropes and instead of asking her to do a bunch of stuff or asking her to come to me, ladies, gentlemen, how would it feel if you were, her nostrils are even now. If you were concerned about something that you needed to do to make things happen, to do the things and the stuff and the stuff and the things, and you had someone in your life that said, you can relax. I got you. Now, she's got her left front foot forward and her right hind foot forward. She's even, but she's still blinking and thinking and kind of, the ears are going. How much? Wouldn't take much to kind of get her thinking, right? So I'm going to help her square up. There we go. There's a breath. And see if she can just be okay out here. And now we ask her one of the questions I was going to tell you about. There. There, you see that left nostril? There, you see that breath, that little, she just did a baby one, but that's the big piece. So I ask her now, which H do you need? My friend Ophelia shared this with me. And I don't know where it came from, but it's brilliant. Which H do you need? And this right here is what is going to be what will help you prevent so many fights. So many fights. Instead of just jumping in and going, well, you need to just relax, calm down. Blah, 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 blah. Look how she's already calming down. Because I asked her, which H do you need? You ready for them? Write them down. Do you need to be, there's the lick and chew. Suspense building. Do you need to be heard? Right? Because in the beginning, she was like, wee, wee, and she just was galloping on. You couldn't see her running around down at the other end. But then she came back. She needed to be heard. She was like, I need to move, right? And horses express themselves through movement, right? And biting and kicking and bucking and moving and galloping. The movies show them winning and nickering and neighing and all kinds of. It's not, chickens on the other hand, but horses are very taciturn, meaning they know that they need to be quiet or they'll alert the predators of where they are. So neighing and nickering, man, if they get to that stage, you already know that something's like really worrying about them. So they do it through moving their feet or freezing, then explode depending on the personality type, which is a lot of what we cover in the mastermind and everything that I do in my programs. So I just said, she still wants to come forward. If you can see that, gold star. So she can see that she wants to take that step forward with the left front foot. And I'm just like, I love you. And so right now she needs the second H. The first one is she needs to be heard. She needs to be heard. And if she is not heard, in my conversation with my friend this morning that I had, if I didn't just put my earbud in and make my coffee while she talked through everything. Because every moment of that conversation, I was like, where is she going with this? What is the point of this? It doesn't matter. Doesn't need to be an answer to that. But while I was asking myself that question, I said, I want to hear what she's not saying. I want to hear what I can do to have deep listening to heal, deep listening for compassion, deep listening for connection. And then now she's needing to be held. Now she's got her left hind foot cocked and she's nice and relaxed, kinda, but she's like, oh, what do you want? What do you want? Who's seen, this is such a brilliant example. If you've ever seen the movie Aladdin, right? Who's seen Aladdin? The cartoon, the Disney cartoon. Remember when he's in the genie with the lamp and the genie's like, boom, what do you want? Boom, what do you want? Boom, what do you want? Well, the voice of the genie in Aladdin is Robin Williams, probably one of the most famous Bellas ever, right? Incredible Bella, right? Incredible Bella persona. It's like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? How can I please? How can I do? What did I? And it killed him. This one, on the other hand, now she's gone through heard. I needed to be heard. I needed to run around. I needed to express myself. Now she needs to be held. And now I'm starting to talk to her a little bit and connect with her. How can I help her? Now, the help part, it really needs to be kind of the 80-20 rule, because we all want to give our stuff. We've all seen that seminar or been to that workshop or, done that things and stuff. We got our ideas. So I'm going to help her, but it's going to be small on her terms. There's my 2 ears. And I have 2 little jumps out here. And I don't even care what she does with them. I just care that we have a conversation. And this is going to be a short conversation because Bellas need to have a short conversation and then they probably need to be heard again. And you traces out there, so if you don't know what I'm talking about with all the Bellas and the Traces and the Mavericks, just pop over to my website. You can take my quiz and find out your personas and different things like that. But we talk about this in a deep way in the mastermind that I do. And there we go. I want her to, okay, so I'm going to tell you what I want her to do, what the conversation is going to be. I want her to go sideways. I don't want her to come any far forward. So I want her to be thinking backwards. Good. And I want her to go sideways that way, there, And I'm going to just see how little that she's thinking forward, right? So I don't want her thinking forward. I want her thinking sideways. Good. But see how I got to be careful. Very clear and directive in my, and I've never asked her to do this. Just FYI. Sorry if I just blew your eardrums out. I just want her to go sideways like that. Very beautiful. Boom. That's all I wanted. She crossed over with her hind legs. She crossed over with her front legs. And she's, that's it? There's got to be more to this than that. And that's where Bellas get really, really confused. Because they feel like there's got to be more to it than that. Like it's got to be a trot. And right there was her telling me she just needed to be heard again. Heard, held, and helped. The helped took 1 ounce of this conversation. And how much of the percentage of it was being held? Very, very little is, see if we can do one more little piece of helped. See if she can go sideways this way with not forward. Don't smoke, right? Whatever it is now, I want her to, that's it. Think about what she's doing. Not forward. See how she's making assumptions and I got to get like, no. There. Because these guys tend to make assumptions about what they think they should be doing. So we're going to try one more time. Yeah. Not forward. Just, so obviously, who can see that she's more one way than the other, right? That was easy. So let's see if we can. Just not forward. See how she wants to go forward so bad. There and there. Boom. Elfing. That was a lot harder to help her on that side. And even now, she's still leaning forward and needs to go there better. One more step. Come on. Come on, one more step. There we go. Good girl. One more. All right, well, if you're going to do that way, good. And then allow her to relax. And then hold space when she does it correctly. Now, and there's all kinds of lick and chew. Now, that was like a lot of effort on our part. But who do you know and care about that you are willing to pour that level of energy into? The people that you love in your life. When they're going through struggle, ask them one of the 3 things. Do they need to be heard? Do they need to be held? Or do they need to be helped? Rarely is it helped. Usually it's heard. And ask yourself too, am I really qualified to be helping this person in the first place? So I'm now going to allow her to move around. Allow. But I'm not going to let her freak out or get worried or get excited, blah, 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 because I don't want to enable that. I want a horse, a person, my individuals, and everybody that I love and care about in my life to be like just easy, relaxed. See how her head's up? And she's like kind of going a little faster than I'd like her to go. So I'm going to give her 3 laps, and then I'm going to do something different. But that's going to be the next lesson. So make sure you're subscribing to me, my YouTube channel. That's Energen. That's Energen by Jen Zoe on Facebook and Zenergen on Instagram. Stay tuned, because we're going to pick this up tomorrow.